Shalom.
Shalom.
Once again, we want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone. Salutation to the hopeful elect and to the four corners of the earth that's put this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. This is GMS Guyana here again. Now we are out here to prophesy the downfall of America, aka Babylon, and all the Confederate countries with her. Right? Now, basically we're gonna just get in into a lesson concerning Esau. Right? Because Esau is the man that is ruling this earth today and it's causing all this uproar all over the place. Right? So, you know, start it out.
This is Romans 9 and verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by her father Isaac, verse 11, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to election might stand.
So they're talking about Esau and Jacob, right? And everything you see happening today, everything you see surrounding the scriptures is based upon Esau and Jacob. You know, these are the two main characters of the Bible.
Antagonist and protagonist.
Esau and Jacob, right? Read that.
Yeah, this is Genesis chapter 25, start from 21. It says, and Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren. And Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived.
Rebekah his wife conceived, go on.
22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh.
So these children struggle together since in the womb, right? Read on.
Verse 23. And Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elders shall serve the younger.
So two manner of nations is in truth, right? From Esau, let's know. From Esau came Edom, and from Jacob came Israel, right? The righteous, which is the Israelites, and the wicked, which is the Edomites, right? So these are the two nations. You had a precept? I bring over.
Genesis 36 and verse 1.
This is Sirach chapter 33 and verse 14. It says, good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another.
To break it down, huh?
Yeah, that's how the Most High said it. Good against evil, one against another. Esau against Jacob.
Yeah. I can read by the preacher read earlier. That's the king's from horses.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, reading from verse 5. It says, there is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceeded from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
Yeah, I can break it down.
Right? So basically, the princes walking as servants on the earth is Yasharallah, prince of power. Right? And the servant, like the scripture says, the elder shall serve the younger, which is Esau. He's upon horses. Right? He's the one there in these high places. You know, and this great that's folly. He's setting great dignity. The wicked of the earth, the evil, they set in ruling. Right? The scripture also says the wisdom of the wicked is no wisdom. So, you know, and that's the mistake these people, you know, giving themselves over to Esau. You know, the son of the left.
So it said two manner of nations, right? So Genesis 36 and 1.
It says Genesis 36 verse 1. Now these are the generation of Esau, who is Edom.
So from Esau came the Edomites, right? You so-called white people today, right? Read verse 8.
Verse 8
It
says, thus dwelleth Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom, and these are the generation of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir.
So Esau is the father of the Edomites. So just because the Israelites are here today, the Edomites are here today too. Get in
That's it.
The
This
end of
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 16. It says, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that came after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is vanity and vexation of the spirit.
So there's no end of people. So let me get how this whole thing started. That's it.
Then it says Genesis chapter 27 and verse 34. It says, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father.
So this is when Isaac, his father, gave a blessing, right? Read.
35. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he had supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he had taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Right? It says, verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother.
So it says, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So whose dwelling is the fatness of the earth today? Right? You so-called white people, starting with the elites. You know, the Rothschilds, the Jadis, Rockefellers, the DuPonts,
Bilderbergers.
you know. These men's dwelling is in the fatness of the earth. Right?
Chiefest of everything.
Read out.
If you could break down what fatness, the fatness goes back to the riches of the earth, the resources, the oil, the gold, the silver, different access to certain remote areas, plutonium, bauxite, all these different things that they could hoard and use to build up their enterprise. And the same thing with King Solomon, when he was ruling, or even when King David was ruling, he had a lot of nations paying tribute and homage that goes back to the fatness, all right?
Even human resources.
Even human resources, as Revelation 18 said, they got the souls of men. This is spirit.
The only thing about Esau, he living off of it, he's stealing it.
That's right.
Everything that he have, he's stealing.
Yep.
Take it by force.
Get into that.
Yeah, somebody asked me, sir. Yeah, I can read it out.
This is Revelation 18. Read it from Read from 10. It says, stand afar off for the fear of the torment, saying, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchants, anymore.
Right. So America is the biggest consumer upon the face of the earth. So when in the scripture said in 1 hour she'll be desolate. So these people are gonna weep and mourn. Right? That's something I know.
Just showing that you know all the mountains of the earth.
There's where the traffic is. There's where everybody wants to go for this so-called American dream. This good life. Yeah.
If I can say real quick, right? Today when I was coming in the bus, right? The driver say he prefer go to America and take the job than stay in Guyana and take it.
Yeah. So in other words, he prefer to dead in America and dead in Guyana. So everybody.
You're just going back to the American dream that everybody dreaming about.
Wants to go to America. Yeah, keep it touching.
Yeah. Genesis chapter 27 and verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword.
And he got it right now. Yeah, continue.
Yeah. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
And he been had dominion. He got dominion over you right now. Right? Yeah.
They go back, the Dark Age. Right? He served us for 1,000 years. And then in the Renaissance, he took over back, and he's been having authority over us since then. You understand? And that is the little horn which is go back to America, right? Which sprung out from the Rome. I tell you all about that in Daniel chapter 2. You understand? Daniel chapter 7. And we'll go with that.
Feeling we're right there to the big thing.
Right now we are at the foot. This great statue that Nebuchadnezzar had a dream about. You understand? Which is iron and clay. So right now, we as men of the Lord, we waiting on Yahweh Shai, which is a stone that struck the foot. Because once you struck the leg, the foot, right, it support everything else wrong. So anyway,
Yeah, it says, verse 41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
So Esau hated Jacob. And even to this day, we see the enmity between the two. Right? There will always be an enmity between Esau and Jacob. Right? Numbers, my own numbers.
There's Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off ever. And the violence Esau taken against us today. Because why when I did on job? Because why this job destroying a lot of us. Because each is one you got for us.
This is Psalms chapter 83, start from 1. It says, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee lift up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Right? And the scriptures make it clear that they that hate thee, right? And we the Israelites, is the Most High chosen people, even to the Most High forest line. Like it said in Exodus, right? Yep. So once you hate the Most High, you hate the Most High's forest line. Yeah, that's to show you hate the children of Israel. Right? It says, verse 4, it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. So, right? They're taking craft counsel against the people they hate. Right? And say, well, let me cut them off from being a nation. Now they introduce Job to do it even more in a more subtle way. Right?
Read the next verse, huh? Maybe who's the number one enemy?
Yeah. Verse 5 says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederates against thee.
And for instance, they are concerted. Read it back again.
Says, verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent.
One consent. Now we see this job being pushed by every government across the four corners of the earth. You know, all of them is in one consent. Everybody must take it. Right?
Yeah, it says they are confederate against thee. Right? Confederate means like partners. Right? It says, verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom.
Number one enemy, you know, to the Israelites, you know, tabernacle of Edom. Yeah. Copy, sir? Alright, you get it. Yeah, Numbers.
This is Numbers chapter 20. Right? Numbers chapter 20 and verse 8. Oh, sorry. 14. This is Numbers chapter 20, verse 40. And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom.
And this was when the just came out to the land of Egypt and was sojourning to the promised land. Right?
Says, thus said thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us, how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers. Right? Verse 16. And when we cried unto Yahweh, heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Egypt, and behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the utmost of thy border.
So at the time, you know, Israel was in a bad state. Right? Yeah, continue on.
Verse 17. Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields, nor through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of thy wells. We will go by thy king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed thy borders.
God. So the Israelites was just looking to take a shortcut through the land of Edom at the time. Right? So they said they can just pass through. They're not going to trouble nothing, touch nothing. All you want to do is just pass. Right? Go on.
Verse 18. And Edom said unto him, thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword.
You know, and this is the hatred between the two right there. You know, he said, thou shalt not pass, right? Lest I come out with the sword. Right? This is blessing. Right? And every opportunity that Esau get, you know, these people should come out with a sword to kill Jacob. Yeah.
This is not about the domination.
Yeah.
Even though it's about Jacob, it's a personal thing. Right? Because when you go back into history, right? For Esau to win the other nation over, it was always easy. But Jacob always put up a fight. He tell you that also in was Maccabees 1 and 44, something around there. Then Eden agreed to Antiochus' laws. But the Israelites, they buck up about it. So basically, this thing is about telling anyway, you get it. I want to jump on.
Yeah, it's about the two nations, right?
If I can say right, Salaki, go ahead.
This whole last part, this whole last wrong here, this little piece of wrong here that we back, this 2 minutes knockout is about Esau and Jacob.
Right, God.
Yeah,
You want to say something?
No, I was just going to say, right, even from the beginning in Genesis, there was 3 classes of nations. The sons of God, the sons of the wicked, and the sons of men. Which in Jacob and Esau, they had a whole class for themselves, but the other 16 nations was all lumped in to say the sons of men.
Yeah.
You understand? So it was always about the 2.
Always about the two.
that's right.
And Esau know that he's above the rest of the nation.
That's right.
Right? And Esau know that we is above all of them. See it showing you?
This is why Jake is giving such a hard time, because as you read earlier, you see servants walking and princes and servants upon her. So Jake knows deep down in the spirit, they understand that they above this man. Anyway, anybody? Yeah.
Then Second Nations chapter 15 and verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. And right now we dwelling in the land of Egypt. And right now we being slaughtered with this magazine, this shot. Well, now get for us. We know more.
Real quick, right? We're not in the land of Egypt, right?
Done.
Egypt is the North Country, which is America, right? We're in the countries of the Confederates, right? Yeah, where that?
But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretch out the arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Just like how we see in them plagues, water running blood and stuff like that. Locusts, you see locusts going into farms and stuff like that. A lot of pestilence. And then after Yahushua is going to come and take we out of this wicked ass place.
That's right.
Most I say you gonna smite Esau, so-called white man. Which is the second time we hit.
Yeah, in modern day, Egypt is America, right? While Egypt go back to bondage, right? This is the piece of land today, bondage, right? Read that.
Let go on. And smite Egypt and stretch out the arm and smite Egypt with the plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Because what? America gonna be destroyed. America will be destroyed most likely in nuclear bombs.
Yeah, I can read it.
Exodus chapter Ezekiel chapter 25 verse 5 says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, says Yahweh Power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Seest thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
That's right. And this you, Esau, because you didn't hear the blood and pursue, right? So, because we are dead to the children, read it back up.
Yeah. Ezekiel 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
God, in the time, this when they just come out of Egypt. Right?
Yeah. Says verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh, power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Seest thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
God, they're planning of Esau all the time. No? Yeah, you can read up.
This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's
Like, yeah. 49 and 7.
Jeremiah 49 and verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus says Yahweh of hosts, his wisdom no more in Teman, his counsel perished from the prudent, is their wisdom vanished.
God, concerning Edom, you know, is there any more wisdom in Timon? Timon that represents the Germans, who are the wisest of Edom. Right? Continue right there.
It says, verse 8, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Edom, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him.
So, in the time of the visitation, it's all about calamity for Esau. This is when Yahweh Shai makes his great return. Somebody can read Isaiah 66, 1. Yeah.
There's 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 8, and he said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac, and when Jacob and Esau was born of him, Esau hand held first the heel, no slacky. Jacob hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the begin of its follow.
So this is the point with that right now. We're there at the end of Esau's kingdom and beginning of Jacob's kingdom to follow. This is why we see so much uproar of people. This is why we see so much wildfire and destruction across the four corners of the earth. This is why this job is being pushed by every government to every citizen to become mandatory, because we are at the end of Esau's kingdom, right?
You have to peace with family kingdom. Because why? Because when kingdom was falling, another nation taking over. And this scripture will show you when Esau's kingdom falls, and when Jacob said to take over, we now get nobody else for take over back on the kingdom. There's Daniel chapter 7 and verse 27, and the kingdom and the dominion and the dominion and the
Greatness.
and the greatness of the kingdom under the old heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Almighty, of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. So you see, all these other nations going to serve us and obey us. Most I say our kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom. Nobody's going to come and take over or finally take over.
So say and dominion, right? Dominion, this means it's over everything, inheritance, everything. Everything in Hebrews, you know, spoken by the prophets of wartime, that we be heirs together in all things.
Whereto is the end of the matter. This end of the matter, so ain't nothing going on more. Say if you come get a partial thing and stuff like that. Most I say he end with matter.
Because and it's the Most High is the one that's set up and is doing all of this, right? This is the Most High moving. The Most High is the one that can't stop. Everything that you see in Sagat, every technology, even to the MOB, right? Is the Most High give it. Read that.
So Psalm chapter 5 and 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. Verse 7. But Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
God, Yahweh is the judge. He's the one that do everything.
Yeah, this precept is concerning Esau, pushing this job heavily, right? Because when you watch, Esau watching each and every single of our videos, right? And he's learning, he's knowing that, hey, the time's short. So trying to do what he could do as he has the time. So this is Revelation 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
So God, Christians, this is not a man with a fork in his hand, with a snake and a serpent. They're talking about Esau either. He's the devil that is coming down upon the face of the earth, knowing that he having but a short time. Right? Yeah.
This Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great word against the Most High, and shall weigh out the sins of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto him his hand until a time and a dividing of time. But judgment shall set, and there shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end.
So Esau was given a time to rule, which you can get all into, right?
So right now the Most High say his kingdom unto the end is gonna be destroyed.
It's Jeremiah 49 and verse 9. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough.
God, so this Esau, would you left nothing, just destroy. Continue.
Verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself.
God. So the Most High have made Esau bare, right? How he made Esau bare? Through these scriptures, right? Today we know who the wicked is, we know who Esau